Well, hey Sagittarians, how about a message from your metal dog here? What is coming in for you this new year? What are you revisiting as we see Mars wrapping up a retrograde and Mercury in the middle of one since the 1st? What's hidden from you that the tarot wants you to know, and what may we see of your future here? We'll do a little advice session here with you Sagittarians, and I'm going to start with the Tarot of the She, Sidhe, get an overall feel. A powerful fairy deck. Okay, well, no doubt this came up the previous time I started this reading, the Maker King. This is the Security King, I call him. This is about abundance, very earthy energy. It's making me think about how you are the centaur person, and that's what I'm seeing here is the human side of you, but your bottom half would be a horse. So I'm seeing this, your human side. And when we look at you, you're one of the mutable signs, and so we get that hybridity. It's similar to Gemini. In the form it takes for you, Sagittarius is Sagittarian, it's fiery, but that half man, half horse quality was coming in really strongly for me here. And mutable signs help us move from one season to the next. Sagittarius, you helped us come from fall and into winter. But yeah, this is very much about your humanity. And it's also a king, so it's this fixed energy. It can sometimes be associated with Taurus, but I think of it much more as about Earth and your relationship to Earth, and also the divine masculine. Very powerful. The gift of skill. So what is your skill? On the bottom here, we have Warrior 4 and Warrior 8. Beautiful. So Warrior 4, this is a card of soulmate connections, of finding your person or your people, the ones that you get to be yourself with. It's about authenticity, about everything being up on the surface, like the four legs of a chair or of a table, very stable energy. And I think of stability being a place in which we can be free to be ourselves. And maybe that's why so many people really seek that. And so if we get this Mr. Security King and this card of stability within the place where you're safe to be yourself, that's really awesome. And we also get more fire. You are of fire, and the warrior suit in this Tarot of the She is fire, obviously. So we get a Warrior 8. This is about communication and action, dragon flight. So let's see, this one is foundations blessed, and here we get dragon flight, and you can see the she, the fairy, riding the dragons down to earth. Fantastic. So there's like a really powerful fiery Sagittarian energy. And when I think of this Maker King, which is Pentacles or Earth in this deck, and this Warrior 8, this fairy riding the dragon down, like it's like this dragon is your horse self. And so you're this mix, Sagittarius, of human and this like fiery animal energy, and stability and action. And it's coming in here really beautifully under these hands, right? There's this divine support. It's like this it seems like it's holding, you are held between these two energies, security and action, earth and fire, human and horse or dragon, as it's coming in here, because we think her steed is a dragon. Okay, wow, I love this. This deck is really a powerful deck. Let me just show you that. It'll be backwards, but in case you're interested, check it out. Okay, now I have a new deck, Sagittarians. So let's find out more about this. This is kind of heady stuff here with your really talking about your hybrid nature. Perhaps a tension between that, and perhaps like the perfect pairing between your wildness and your humanity. Yeah, I have a new deck here. Let's see what it wants to tell you. Okay, so the first card we're going to pull in this New Year reading is, what shall you release? You're being advised to release something, Sagittarius, and that would be the Hierophant. So yeah, this deck is new, but the Hierophant, it's also very kind of traditional Rider-Waite Smith art. Just all women, all naked women. So the Hierophant, this is structural power. This is Taurus power, more of that earth power that I thought of with the Maker King. So there's this stability, this structure. It can be a teacher. So if you've had a teacher or a mentor and you've been in a position of being a student, that is something that you're letting go of now. Or if you have been a teacher, maybe you're letting go of that role. The Hierophant is very much about hierarchy. This comes in for me with this Maker King. I feel like there's something happening in the larger paradigm. It's coming up in my general collective readings. It's coming up in other people's readings and astrologers that I follow, Heather Ensworth, if you check that reading out about the new year. But so we're seeing a paradigm shift. It's a part of coming into the age of Aquarius. But that's what I see here, is like, it could be in your very, very specific to you in your life, that you're letting go of something that has provided structure or perhaps restricted you within structure. For me, the Hierophant, the church and state, as a queer person, I push against it. I live outside of it. I reflect upon it as an outsider, and I am always happy to see it something to release. But it can be quite reassuring, all of that structure that it can provide. And so it can be difficult to let go of that, Sagittarius. Okay, what will you be? Wow, okay, so you are embracing a 9 of Swords here. This is your mind. This is your mind keeping you up at night. It's a little bit of anxiety. So why would we embrace anxiety? Well, if we see the Hierophant, we see what's made us comfortable and made us safe coming down, and that we need to release that, we can understand that it may be normal for us to feel anxious. And then we will clarify. I'm sure the tarot, as we keep reading, will help you, Sagittarius, with making the use of this anxiety in some way, or shifting through it. So I guess what I see is some change happening on both large and personal levels. So we'll find out more. So as we see Mercury in retrograde, Mars in retrograde, you are revisiting justice. So it's something that would have come up in the past months, or even perhaps in a longer cycle, because justice is major arcana. So if you're revisiting this idea of justice, what is the truth? What does it mean to be balanced, to have equality? Do you still agree with that meaning? We have a major card here, the Hierophant, and then justice. So it feels very much like a system that you're looking at. And because we have you up in your head, it causes me to look at how justice, she always holds the sword. It represents truth. Also is the suit of your mind. And then she holds the scales, which make me think always of a 2 of Cups. And so when I see a 2 of Cups, I think of justice. And the 2 of Cups is the emotional. So we can, I often see in the tarot this need to balance the mind and the heart. And that comes in for me here. So you're kind of re-looking at that. And you may arrive at the same conclusion, or you may modify it. We'll look a little bit further and see what we can see. What is hidden that the tarot wants Sagittarius to know? Awesome. The strength. Okay, so this is, again, the human and the animal being combined, just like you're the centaur being with the upper half is a human and the bottom half of a horse. The strength card speaks of this in the same way, and it also speaks of our wands, fire, our animal. It can be our violence, our lust. None of which is bad. Like our animal wildness, I feel we need to be more in touch with, not less in touch with. But we also need to be able to be safe around sheep and lambs and the vulnerable. Like, so as we go about amongst other people, to learn restraint and to come to that restraint through love. That's what the strength card is about. So you have the figure representing the divine feminine, and we have the lion representing this more wands, fire, Leo, animal energy that is quick and can be violent, can hurt, that is calmed, and that the woman is safe with this lion in the image. And not only is she safe, but because she loves, the lion is happy to really be subdued around her. So this is what's hidden from you, Sagittarius. It's a third major arcana card. It seems to me that as you go through this process of giving up whatever the Hierophant represented to you, structure, a teacher, a role, something that made sense to you. And as you embrace this change, may bring you anxiety. As you revisit justice, what the tarot wants you to know is that you have the strength. Both justice and the strength card remind us that about your heart. And I'm pausing because I'm questioning, because this is what I believe, right? This is my values. Like, I'm always wanting you, my viewers, to remember to tell the truth and to act, but to do so from a place that is grounded in your heart, in your kindness, your gentleness, to take that time. And it may be that this strength is there for you, right? If you're feeling anxious, that you can trust this change is supported by whatever's causing this change, is going to remember its heart. This is really important as we go through this very dynamic historical moment. The future. What does the future hold for Sagittarius? Wow, the Emperor. This is certainty. This is decisiveness. This is an alpha energy. It's actually a very beautiful card here. The figure, very muscular. It's just an Aries energy. It's Martian energy. So it's the lion in the strength here. It's also like the Hierophant. It's a card of structure. But I really see how this person in this figure has the shield is down. They are sitting cross-legged. They are balancing this symbol of, it's like a labrys. It's also a women's symbol. It's like the divine feminine. It's very peaceful groundedness in your body because of her muscularity. I see her muscles and her physical power. She's relaxed. She's not on guard. She knows who she is. So this kind of feeling of being grounded in who you are, knowing your direction, being the leader of your life. This is what we see you doing in the future as you work through this process here, Sagittarius. Okay. One card on the bottom giving us a little bit more information. This is the quit your job card. There's a burden that you have been carrying. The 10 of Wands. It's been a long cycle. You got to this is the last card in this cycle of Wands. And when you get here, you have completed this task and you may put down this burden. So you know what that burden is. We see you very responsible, wealthy, abundant, very much in your kingly, stable power here. And so it makes sense that you may have been carrying some kind of a burden. And then we see you writing out. Was that how it is on the table? No. On the table, it goes like this. So you come out of this stable relationship with others where you get to be yourself, this Four of Wands place, and you come out in action, right? So we can see a shift where as you lighten your load, then you're kind of free to move out. All right, well, let's clarify. Let's see what, I didn't pick a deck to clarify, although this one did want to clarify, so, and still does. We will use the beautiful tarot of the Wild Unknown, or the Wild Unknown Tarot. All right, Sag. I always love you guys. Your heart forthness. A little bit know-it-allness. I don't know. I'm thinking of all my friends. Your great sense of humor. That's like primary. You're good at laughing at the jokes your friends tell. It's fun to be around Sagittarians. Okay, so let's see. Let me just shuffle this one more time. Some nice cards coming up with these split lovers and Ace of Pentacles. But let's see. What's this Hierophant? What are you releasing here, this Hierophant? The lovers. Okay. So maybe, Sagittarius, you have built structure around a concept of the lovers here. Let me keep looking here. The Empress, the Divine Feminine, the Earth. Wow, got some big cards, my friend. And thirdly, the World, the End. Okay, there's a major release here happening. Real sense of sovereignty, self-sovereignty here. We see you so we see this Hierophant. You've built a life around this relationship or this decision. So the lovers can be like a soulmate. It's not always a comfortable connection because it's so profound on all levels. Therefore, it's also a choice. Many refuse to participate in the lovers. So there is a choice or there is a love relationship, a partnership on all levels. It can be, can feel like this twin flame energy that people talk about. And then we see you coming out of that into the Empress, which is that in some way you are sovereign of yourself. You're very powerful, abundant, nurturing. But we do see an ending to this. It's a major ending, Sagittarius. I almost feel like you built your life around a relationship and that this is what has structured your life. And that is, you learned a lot. You've become amazing. You've come to know who you are within that, and you've completed something there. It doesn't mean the relationship is over. It's just maybe that's the foundation from which you leap forward into the next thing. So let's see. There's some anxiety that comes as you move out of what has been very stable, very powerful. I mean, it's like maturity. It's a major cycle that you have finished. And so now as you move out of that, there can be anxiety, insomnia even. You can be up in your head. You can wonder, who am I here? You really knew who you were there. And as you release that, and it's almost like you're the Hierophant. You're the professional, the authority, the master, the Empress in this. And now it's time, you can rest on your laurels, but really it doesn't ever seem possible. Like what happens in our stories, we're in a story, right? So something's changing. What is it? We're embracing a Nine of Swords, a new beginning. a new 3D beginning. I often look at this Ace of Pentacles. We can see a tree has been cut down, but life remains inside of it. We can see leaves growing out of the stump. So we can really feel how you're moving from this ending, the world, to the new beginning. And the world is an ending, and it is the beginning. It is, you are complete. You are everything that you need. You are, it's a really beautiful card in this particular deck, the world. It says you have arrived, you have everything, you are in and of yourself, this Empress. So there's a new beginning here, Sagittarius. A new home, a new job. What else? It looks, as I say, a new job, we see an 8 of Pentacles. It looks like a new craft, a new skill. It could be a new profession, a new place at work. And it's hard to be a beginner when you've been the Hierophant. You've been the pro. And now you're starting out something new. And so it could be a job, or it could be some other role that you are studying and becoming a master of and increasing your skills in. And then we get another major arcana card, Judgment. As you do this right, like this, and this is what the tarot says to you, like you're feeling anxiety. Embrace this. It would be crazy if you're starting something new and you don't feel disturbed and anxious, right? I always tell my friends who are starting a new job and they're afraid that they don't know how to do it. This is the fun part. Like then it'll become rote. You'll master it, and it can even become kind of like something that you take for granted, and it's just so easy. But so when you learn something new, as it appears you are, and you move from being a master to a beginner, trust, and it's right here for you that you're gonna do this right. You're gonna rise again. This is another late cycle card. It says you've done your part, you've been diligent, and you rise you shine. You advance in the video game of life. Okay, so as you begin this new cycle in the very 3D earthy world, it could be a new relationship with the planet too. A lot of that is coming up for many of us with the Maker King here. Ace of Pentacles and the 8 of Pentacles. I would say that I'm studying Druidry, and so that this is the relationship with my planet that I'm trying to remember or learn for anew, but it feels like remembering. And maybe that's a little bit of what you have going here. And it's it can feel very small, like a little light, and then it's amazing what you can find in it and how long of a path this is and how inspiring. Yeah, so let's clarify. There was something about justice that you're revisiting. Let's see if we can learn more about your retrograde reflections with Mercury and Mars. To me, I want to look at Mars. Mars is in Gemini and has been in Gemini, I think, since October. And it's like the slowest ever. It's normally a fast-moving, it's a personal planet. But Mars has really been thinking about your fellow mutable sign, Gemini. And it's the life of the mind, curiosity, ideas. But the Lovers is Gemini. So if we go back to what you're releasing, that could be as Mars has been in Gemini. There's something new that is being learned. There's a real strong sense in this reading that this is coming up in other places, other conversations, about a paradigm shift from how the divine masculine understands himself in the world. This toxic masculinity that we've all been noticing finally after 500 years of it. So, okay, let's see. Justice. We're ready. Yeah, there's a tower. Something coming down. In this deck, this tree is the Emperor. It's structural power. It is the divine masculine. It's what I'm talking about. Here, we do see the Emperor feeling like this in the future. A much different emperor. Let's see what else. This Tower. Generosity, 6 of Pentacles. Giving, charitable giving, receiving, seeking of balance. In this deck, it emphasizes the generosity of earth, its abundance. There's always plenty. Be generous. And thirdly, the 2 of Wands, a vision. So what you're reviewing is that there was something that came down, and it has to do with, for me, the 6 of Pentacles, even though in this deck it's about generosity, it's always about hierarchy. Because if some are giving charity, that means others need charity. And why do we have a world? Why have we constructed a world that lacks justice, right? A just world, and this is under the card of justice that we're reflecting upon this. A just world might be something that we would imagine here in this rainbow way, where we see the 2 wands. This is a card of visioning. So what we're reviewing here is, I'm going to say it has to do with how you've structured your life, right? That first thing that you're releasing, whatever is in your mind as I'm giving you this reading. You're reflecting on that. It's hierarchical. Under justice, you might be wondering, and I'm wondering constantly in my whole life, I'm wondering, how can we envision a world that isn't hierarchical? Can we bring down this hierarchical, toxic masculinity, white supremacist, colonial, extractive way of engaging with one another and with our planet? How can we envision a way forward? And so I feel like there's a lot of major themes coming up in your reading, Sagittarius, in a more local, individual level. You were reflecting on your vision, and you were reflecting on, this Tower, something you were shocked, and it looks like you were shocked in the Pentacles, and it's in your earth relations or your career, your home, and so then it caused you to come up with a vision where things would be better, more just. And so you're reflecting on that vision, whatever that was. You tell me. I would wish my viewers would put comments on these more often. It'd be really fun. But sometimes people who are my friends, you write me notes on Facebook, or you just tell me. I would love to know. However you want to do it. It helps this channel if you comment. Okay, so what the tarot wants you to know, and what is currently hidden from you, is the strength. So you may not feel like you have the strength. And the tarot says, you do. This is here for you. And the strength card is not physical. It's from your heart. So let's see. What else? Death. Card of Scorpio. Transformation. Here, another big giant card for you. The Tower and Death are here. They're related cards. The Fool, the new beginning. Wow. And a new beginning again. The Ace of Wands. Passionate, creative, inspired. Beautiful. And it's your suit, the wands, right? Fire, Sagittarius. So, yeah, there's just like, clearly see the World's here and the Fool's here. The ending and the beginning. The Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands. It's very earthy and practical, but it's also inspiring and creative. The Eight of Pentacles here, suggesting you're learning a new craft, new skill, is emphasized here again by the Ace of Wands, that it's in the creative realm. It's exciting, it's inspiring. But there is a feeling that you're having with the World, with the Tower, and with death. That is, it's shook, and you're shook. Yeah, that's why you have this Nine of Swords. That's why you're anxious or you have insomnia. Something really big came to an end, and you built your life around it, and now you're learning something new. And you're being encouraged by the tarot here that you have the strength to go through this, to start anew. It's a very wonderful, loving message for you from the tarot. We see you in the future looking good. You know who you are. You know what you want. You're in your fiery self. You're like, in Aries, I think of like it's a cardinal sign. It's the starter, right? So this is how you are going to start this. Or how this start is going to set you up in the future. So let's see what else. There's that Four of Wands. Okay, so we've seen this here. What's this card? It's that stable love, that soulmate connection, that authenticity. Everything is up on the surface. It's a beautiful creation. When you were envisioning this and you're reviewing this vision right now, this is what you envisioned. It's coming in here in the future. It's fantastic. There is a Seven of Cups. There are still a lot of emotional questions, choices, options, illusions, fantasies, projections. So that's there. That's more of an uncomfortable feeling, but it can also feel like full of possibility in the emotional realm. And there is the Mother of Cups. There she is, offering that heart. She's very open. Yeah, she's an emotionally mature, open with her feelings person, a water sign it could be. But I feel like it's you, because we see you. So if we read this, so like, this is like a soulmate connection, and there's all these choices, right? But then we can see you, there's your heart, reaching and picking something here. And under the Emperor, this says like, you know what you want, and you are reaching for that. So if it's love you want, that's here. We see you coming out with action, with your heart. And there's like a new beginning here in your career in some way. There's some kind of new beginning here. What's going on underneath? It's pretty exciting, Sag. It's a good reading. Well, on the bottom of the deck, a few things. Yeah, this looks like an emotional cycle. You've finished a Wands cycle here. There's new beginnings in the Wands too, right? That's here. But we're just, all the cups are coming up here. So here's the Mother of Wands. So she's protective. She can manifest the world that she wants to live in. She's protecting her eggs. That's your fire. But then we can see the Ten of Cups here. This is emotional ideals, community, family, love. Whatever that emotional ideal is, that's here. It looks like the Mother of Wands is manifesting that. There are some doubts and heartaches that you have that are perhaps a part of your anxiety or your insomnia. This is been there, done that. When I look back at the past, I can see I'm never going to get anything good. This is even a really painful card of grief and loss. So though these can be between you and this Ten of Cups vision, but then we get the final card is a beautiful new emotional beginning. Sagittarius, you're starting something new. The only thing that isn't here, the only ace not here, is the Ace of Swords. And I think you already have that, because we see it right here. You're reviewing this truth that you came to, and it has to do with this big Hierophant structure that you built your life around, and you got a truth out of that, and it's caused you to leave that behind and go somewhere else. It doesn't mean you relocate. It can mean that, but it can also just mean that you start somewhere new where you are. Because the Ace of Pentacles, and then we saw the Ace of Wands, and now we get the Ace of Cups. It feels like, and that's why I said this is an emotional cycle beginning. And you feel like a fool. You feel like you're doing something totally new, and it's new skills. And I think that has to do with the kind of shift from a hierarchical structure to one in which the emphasis is on authenticity and loving yourself, which is what the Ace of Cups always reminds you to do. Love yourself. You are divinely loved and supported. But then with the Four of Wands, like it's a vision that includes possibly a soulmate here. But certainly it's a beautiful vision where you are loved for who you are. And you are openly coming out as you, like the Mother of Cups will. And you're feeling like this in the future, Sagittarius. Very good, very powerful, very grounded, certain. You know, when I get the Emperor, I love Aries. I also am confronting the masculine and structural power, right? And I told you I'm queer. I want to revise this. I want the Six of Pentacles hierarchy bugs me. And but sometimes when I get the Emperor, it just means be decisive, be the leader of your own life. And that's what I take this to mean for you, Sagittarius, today. And do so with a heart. Strength is here. The Mother of Cups is here. There's lots of cups here. So to me, that seems like easy for Sagittarians to do, the way that I always see you on your horse body with your chest open, your heart right there, kind of heart forth people. So go forth and be you. Something new is starting. Let me know. All right, Sag, have a beautiful day.